Get ready to explore simple hacks for a healthier, more energized you. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Women Talk with me, Nadia, Azmi. Now I want to start off with some questions for all of you. Now, have you ever felt like you're too tired? You need more sleep? You need more energy? Well, today's topic is just for you because it's on the rise of biohacking and wellness tech. So what is that? What is biohacking and how do we take care of our health on wellness tech? Well, today in the studio, we have two guests with us. On my left, we have Nana Muhammad, a fitness and health influencer. Who doesn't know her? On social media, you're giving tips and tricks to everyone, educating people about the importance of health. Thank you for being here, Nana.
Thank you for having me today.
Yes. And to your left is Yan Fang, a biohacking and wellness advocate. Welcome, ladies, to Women Talk. Now, let's start with a very simple question. The both of you are in the line of health and fitness. So can you tell me, Nana, we start with you.
Okay.
How did you end up, or what is your story? Why did you choose this line? You're a fitness buff, you're a fitness advocate, you're all about being healthy, but why did you choose this line?
I think it's kind of like meant to be because growing up, my mom always introduces me to all these different kind of sports, and that's the only thing that I've known, you know, like cycling, running, and I got into running, actually sprinting, and I became an athlete. But actually, I graduated in psychology and communication.
Something totally different.
Absolutely different than what I'm supposed to do, supposedly in corporate world. But I guess God had a different plan for me back then, and then I got back into wellness and fitness. I think it's the way and the way of life back then, and how my mom actually trained me to be mindful of what I eat, intuitive eating since young. So it kind of like intrigued my interest.
Okay.
And I actually went with it.
Okay, amazing. I think athlete or not, healthness is always something that we should prioritize and look more into. So thank you, Nana, for being on social media, for being a very important figure for people to be inspired to take care of their health. And what about you, Yan?
I think I am born into this industry. So my mom was a hairdresser. At a very young age, I was like in her salon all the time. You know, 30 years ago, beauty is, you know, only hairdressing, wellness. You talk about how to live better. But unfortunately, my mom died at the age of 40 to brain tumor. So I think that actually makes me more aware about health. So I think that is why, you know, my journey in the wellness industry has been 25 years now.
Okay, so life taught you to be more self-conscious, more aware about our surroundings in terms of being healthy. I want to start with Yan on the first question about our topic for today, biohacking. Maybe for some people watching, it's the first time hearing that term. So you are a biohacking advocate, Yan. Tell us, what is biohacking?
So I think basically the word biohacking is like evolved from wellness, right? So in simple terms, biohacking means hacking your biology, right? So basically it's doing things to improve your overall well-being, whether it's mental, physical or spiritual.
Okay, and that's why we're here today to unpack, to unfold what are the strategies to change your biology, the biology in your body, and about wellness. How would you define wellness, Nana? Now we're all about mental health as well.
Correct.
So do you put that definition of mental health also under wellness?
Yes, absolutely. I feel that mental health is really important. In fact, it is number one. Because for me, if you do not have a healthy mind, it will interfere with everything. Your emotion, how you actively doing something or you respond to things, and also your ability to execute your tasks daily. So mental health is really important, like especially addressing your trauma, childhood things that sometimes you forget that you actually put it behind, put it at rest, because we're always in this flight or fight mode all the time, and sometimes all these suppressed feelings, emotion can really surface during an unexpected time, and
But it needs to be addressed. In
Correct.
actual fact, right?
Correct.
And I think
Yeah.
after the COVID-19 pandemic, especially,
Yes.
people have become more aware, more cognizant of their
Yes.
health, right? When we talk about wellness tech, Nana, we have so many things like apps, wearables, devices that we can use to monitor our health, to know what kind of treatment or what do we need to do in our daily regimen, daily routines, right? So how can we go about that, Nana?
Okay, talking about this, I remember way back when I was in my teenage years or in early 20s, we do not have access to all these things.
Right.
I mean, I don't have access to all these things. So I would go to YouTube and, search the kind of exercises, without knowing what is my capacity in terms of physical ability. And also, let's be honest, when it comes to wellness and fitness, money is really important, right? The budget.
You need, yes,
Yes,
you need money.
you need certain X amount of money to eat healthy because our resources is not entirely accessible and affordable to some, right? So as of now, I think it's really, really easy for everyone to access gadgets as well. We have YouTube, TV. Everyone have TV, and you can just basically access all this information online.
Is already there. Tech is already there. It's just how we use it, how we apply it.
Yes,
and also I think
correct.
the discipline, if we're going to track, let's say, our menstrual cycle,
Yes.
we just have to be
It's
disciplined
really
in doing
important.
that regularly so we don't
Yeah.
miss out the important dates and so
Correct.
forth. Okay, now, Yan, how do we normalize conversations among women especially so that they can stay informed about their health? It's not something that should be secondary. Sometimes you put your career first, your family first, without thinking about your own well-being. How can we normalize and just, say, hey, women, out there, this is really important. You gotta pay attention to this.
I think in modern societies, we expect a lot from a woman,
Yes.
right? So we expect a woman to have a successful career. And that is where we are in our masculine mode all the time. Then when we go home, we need to be a good mother. Then we need to be nurturing, patient. Then later on with your husband, you might need to be feminine, sexy, Then I think you got to switch role, and sometimes it can be very overwhelming, especially if you want it all at the same time. I think having real conversation is important, like normalize the conversation, even checking in with your friends, right? Like, how are you doing? How do you feel?
Or maybe telling someone, oh, hey, I need some of my me time.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
yes,
I gotta go.
yes.
Maybe just for a few hours. I'll be back.
And the thing is, in today's society, people expect women to look good, 10, 15 years younger, stay fit, and like have abundance of energy. So it's really quite overwhelming, I would say. So checking in with your friends, do you sleep well? Are you feel overwhelmed? I think sometimes
the small things help.
Yeah, small conversation like this and normalizing it is important.
Okay, Nana, you mentioned that we need money. Money,
Yes.
we need that to take care of our health. But after this, we will learn about the biohacks that we can start today without a huge budget. So we'll find out after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to Women Talk. We were just talking about biohacking and wellness tech. We're talking about with our guests the small steps, the strategies, and the smart choices that we can take when it comes to taking care of our health. Now that we have talked about the why, let's put that aside for now. Let's talk about the how, the very important part of taking care of your health. Now, Yan, not everything works for everyone when it comes to biohacking, right? So we need to know what is it that our body needs, what is it that is suitable and appropriate for us. And so if you want to look up things online, for instance, you got to know what to ask as well.
Yeah.
You got to have the right information that's right for you.
Yeah.
So how do we experiment if you need to experiment safely? How do we do that?
I believe, when it comes to health, there's no one size fits all, right? So I think, number one, you got to kind of educate yourself and also do a little bit of testing and tracking as well. So I think like blood test is important, like kind of knowing your inflammation marker, your hormones, your nutrient levels, then you know like what is lacking and what you should have.
Some people are really afraid to do all these medical checkups, to even get their blood drawn.
Yeah.
How do we overcome that fear?
Okay, so
It's
I
that first step.
So I think the old times, you should be afraid. Because the old times when you are doing a test, you might be at a late stage of something, right? Like a late state of cancer.
Okay.
But in today's technology, it has evolved so much that you can already know pre-diabetes, you already know pre-cancer and things like that. So you can actually prevent it. So I think in today's world and today's modern technology, we should do more testing and tracking than to ignore it. Yeah.
Prevention is better than cure,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Nana, now there's a lot of supplements, vitamins available, and people are becoming more aware of their health, so they want to try out different kinds of supplements and such. So how do we experiment safely with that as well?
Okay, to be honest, right, I'm a big believer in terms of getting all your nutrients. I mean, most of your nutrients from natural food.
Right.
This is what I've been taught to me by my mom. So natural food, whole food, all the way. But I understand sometimes it's really hard to prepare your own food, especially now. So when it comes to supplement, you really need to make and do your research.
Yeah.
Don't just hear and listen and make decisions just based on the reviews you see online.
Some people are like, oh, this is really good for you, you should take it, you should buy it, it's online, available.
No, really get to know about the ingredients and stuff like that. Even as simple as vitamin C, even as simple as magnesium, you need to know and understand like what type of magnesium is used in that particular supplement, because no supplement is created equal, correct? So getting to know and understand each of the ingredients and make your well-informed decision is better than just like getting it because it's popular.
So knowing what's right for you is also called bio-individuality.
Correct.
Is that right, Yan? Right now, especially on social media or with the presence of social media, there's so many things that people are introducing, are selling.
Yeah.
So how do you distinguish between, you have to do your research and all that, but how do you know what's worth trying?
Yeah.
And compared to what's just a hype?
Like what Ian said earlier, I get my blood checked. I actually did my DNA tests, know my markers and stuff like that. And based on that, I actually get the supplement, the only one that I needed.
Okay.
But of course, see your practitioner, see your doctor to see whether this supplement is great for you. Like I said, no supplement is created equal. And of course, you can make a trial and error. You can try it and see how you feel. So for me, always see what is listed first. It seems like food, right? It say probably it says like this is an oat biscuit.
Yeah.
But the oat is like number 9. That's not oat biscuit. Probably it's a flour biscuit. So really need to know, get to understand. Be a curious cat. Always be a curious cat and make your own research. Being a public figure and also a content creator, and sometimes you are hired to mention certain things. As for me, my consciousness and my morale is quite high. So sometimes I had to make the hardest decision not to take a certain job because I don't believe in that particular things. So getting paid is one thing. Being truthful to what I believe in is
authentic.
Another thing.
Yeah, and you mentioned about the expectations, especially in this modern society, right? We are always, a lot of us are busy women juggling so many things. So sometimes our health is overlooked sometimes, whether it's sleep or staying hydrated, getting enough sunlight. And also there's something called breath work. All that are important elements in our daily lives. How can we get it right, Yan? How?
I think, again, you need to listen to your body. And, most of the biohacks are free, right? And we should be sleeping naturally. We should know how to breathe. But why are we losing this function in today's world? So I think we are being bombarded with too much of information. We stay indoor all the time with artificial lights, and we forget about the natural sunlight going to the nature. So I think, to do it right, you got to kind of know why. What are you doing this for? Instead of coming from a place of fear or coming from a place of lack. Is it like, I'm not good enough? You kind of, biohacking means self-care. How can you make it like sustainable self-care? So for me, like I do my morning sunlight every morning with meditation.
Okay.
Because I think that is very, very important for me.
Yeah.
Like actually, I feel biohacks most of the time are free.
Yes.
You know, so it doesn't need to be expensive.
Yeah.
It's not only for the rich people, but it's
It
actually
should be
for
accessible to everyone.
Yes. So like meditation and sunlight are free, right?
Exactly.
But that actually gives me a lot of solitude, and you know, we have plenty of sunlight in Malaysia. And a lot of us are lack of vitamin D because we just avoid the sun.
Despite being in a tropical country.
Yeah, so we avoid all the sun most of
aircon
the time. and especially female, right? We don't want to get dark and we want to be in the indoor all the time, afraid of pigmentation. But the sunlight makes a huge difference.
It's interesting, or it's a good point that you brought up, Yan, about self-care.
Yeah.
I think you have to set your intentions right and
Right.
straight.
Yeah.
This is because you love yourself, not just
Correct.
because you want to show or portray an
want to
image
build-
that is, you know,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And you want to build a support system to support yourself,
Right.
right?
Correct.
Like let's say you have a high stress, high output kind of lifestyle, and what is the support system to support that?
Stress will always be there,
Yeah,
but there are
sure.
ways, there are methods that we can deploy
Yeah.
to make sure that we can keep it at bay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that we can stay sane.
Yeah,
We'll talk about more about wellness tech and also biodiversity after this. You're still with me on Women Talk, talking about biohacking and also wellness tech. Now, for this last segment, we're going to talk about how these small or exciting concepts that we've just discussed can lead to improvements, and how the knowledge that we gain about our health can be turned into actionable steps. All right, Nana, what is perhaps one or two simple changes that you can tell the audience that they can practice in their everyday lives to make better health choices without feeling overwhelmed?
Oh, okay. Number one, get your oxygen in check. So breathe properly, because we tend not to breathe when we are under stress.
Hard to believe, though.
It is life-changing, trust me. Like a simple deep breath, expanding your lungs and exhaling. That's how simple you can de-stress and get your oxygen in properly. So use your breath app, mindfulness app. And then the second one is to be mindful of what you eat. Take care of your gut, because I believe that most chronic illness start with your gut. If you do not take care of your gut, that's where all this weird illness comes and
Malaysians love to
appear.
eat, so this could be challenging.
I know. So if you can, go slow down on all these preservatives, food colorings, fast food, and so on. Try to get most of your nutrients from whole food.
food.
And when it comes to activity, do something that you are capable of. I'm referring to if you have any joint pain, any neck pain, or whatever limitations that you have. So do something or commit to something that is gentle enough, not stressing your body or not furthering to add more injuries.
So it's important to also not overdo things.
Yes.
As much as we want to be
Yeah.
a lot healthier.
Yeah.
If there's one aspect of health that we sometimes sideline, Yan, you mentioned it a little bit briefly previously, is of course mental well-being. So in all of this, exercising, taking care of our food intake, how do we not lose sight and take care of our mental well-being as well?
I think, in today's world, we kind of overtrack things, we want to optimize every moment. Sometimes sometimes health can become stressful as well.
Yep.
So I think it's really important to always check in yourself.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Not only you want to be like physically fit and things like that, but you want to align with your mental health as well.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people over-tracking it will also cause a stress.
Correct.
Yeah. So example, I track my sleep with this ring. For my purpose is to track to see which day I'm sleeping well, which day I'm not sleeping well,
Yeah.
and I kind of able to reflect why am I not sleeping well, right?
But you have sleep apnea or not?
Yeah. I mean, just knowing, what did you do right and what
Yeah.
did you do
Yeah.
wrong that affect your sleep. But some people, they will get overly stressed when they wake up and say, oh my God, I'm not sleeping well and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think you got to be aligned with your mental health.
So in all of this, it's also important to not be overthinking or be too worried
Yeah.
about our health. You do what you need to do, and let nature takes its course. Yan, Asia Pacific projected to lead the biohacking market due to growing internet usage, internet access, wellness trends. We see that, and the rising of middle class incomes. Malaysia is already a front runner in digital healthcare adoption. How can we leverage on this momentum, Yan?
I think Malaysia is at a very unique position. We are, in digital, we are actually quite well versed.
Yeah.
And we have a very diverse culture as well.
Yes.
So in terms of the health awareness, we have quite a good health awareness because we have like TCM, we have the Malay Jamu, we have Ayurvedic. So I think Malaysia, we are at a very unique position. And you got to kind of normalize it and localize it. Because a lot of all these trendy things are very Western, but it might not be applicable locally. So I think how can we talk about local example, right? Even like we have a lot of people who live more than 100 years old, and we should interview them and how they live their life locally, right? So I think to make it more relevant locally.
So as Malaysians, we're quite lucky. There's that convergence of traditional healthcare
all these
methods
ancient
with the modern
wisdom.
ones. Right, so we need to be smart enough how to balance or assimilate those two together. Now, Nana and Yan, we want to also, of course, give advice to women out there. They need to take care of their health. But can you please emphasize how important is it? I know that a lot of us have careers. We have children to look after, our family to look after, among other things as well.
First of all, I feel that I 100% believe that your health and wellness start from home. So if you're a mother and you never have access to or never have the idea or I would say knowledge about what is healthy, what is wellness before, take advantage of now. Because it's never too late to educate your children, your husband, your spouse, your mother-in-laws, your in-laws, even your own parent. Because whatever that you, I would say, expose your child to, your family to, or you serve, for example, food, is what they are going to carry and practice moving onwards, right? So, for example, my mom, like, she doesn't have access to good food before. So when it comes to us, she was really stern and firm, like we cannot have junk food at all. So growing up and even now, that's what I carry, and that's what I share with my husband, and I can see tremendous changes. He used to love dessert, but now he's more into veggies, fruits, all this wholesome food. So wellness, fitness, health start from home and at home. So as a mom, as a female, you have a huge responsibility to basically craft and redirect the course of life in future. So it's never too late when it comes to that, and find your balance. Don't be too stern. Don't be too firm in terms of, when I say that, it's like, oh, let's cut sugar, let's cut this, no, you're gonna go crazy because you're so used to certain things. So find a balance that you can stick to. Small changes is better than these big, huge changes that you cannot cope up or like keep up.
Yan, what about you?
I think women, we are so used to just give. Right? It's very easy for us to lose sight about ourselves. I think we need to put ourselves first, especially your mental health, your physical health. Because if you, without physical health, you can't build anything, right? You cannot have a career, you cannot be a good mom, you cannot build a good relationship if you're sick. So I think it's very easy for a female to kind of lose sight on this. They will always put their career first, their kids first, their husband first, the whole family first, then they are last. So I think it got to change the other way around. When you are healthy, when you are happy, you are a good role model, like what Nana said, right? The woman plays a very important role in the family, especially when it comes to wellness and health. And if you don't take care of yourself, you are not setting a good role model.
Correct. Precisely. With that, remember, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye, everyone.